generate that type of energy for this evening, and may you all continue to enjoy and uplift each other. And we bring you dances from the old
so we can return to enjoying the libations and definitely enjoying the beautiful artwork. But before we get started, we have some acknowledgments that we'd like to make, and I'd like to make before we begin the program. And the first one is to my business partners. Our gallery is coming upon our 6th year anniversary this August. Team, my family, my partners, Stephen Mitchell, a well-known collector in the city of Chicago, a partner in an owner of a law firm, but most importantly, someone we can depend on in the marketing genius, Stephen Mitchell. My life partner and business partner, Frances Guichard, she traveled with me to Dakar, and we went on a journey together. I know Fran has a couple words about the Dakar experience I'll never share real quick.
Oh. Just a couple of words. I want you to see my beautiful attire. This is by my sister, Yassine Sam. And she is a designer. She made this beautiful outfit that I'm wearing today. And I say she's my sister because she's my sister, my bloodline, somewhere down there in my heritage, I'm sure. Back to Africa. I'm sure we have some connection, and we really connected while we were there, along with her husband, Omar Sam, who is here, who you'll hear from today. And I am very proud to say that I am a descendant from Africa. And you learn so much about your past, your history, and the connection, that bridge that connects us from here where we are today back to our ancestors' home and our home in Africa. But we'll talk a little bit more, as you'll see.
Frances Guichard. The libations tonight were supplied by Bacardi USA and Bombay Sapphire, so Mike Majette, I'd like to throw a shout out and thank Bacardi for all they do, keeping our thirst quenched. We also have Elements Therapeutic Massage is one of our sponsors, located in Orland Park in Raz Najee. It's a young entrepreneur with a new business, and like any young business, she needs our support. IIT Leroy Kennedy and the support that he gives on a regular basis, and US Cellular, Greg Hinton. He was in the house earlier, I don't know if he's still here, but Greg Hinton with US Cellular. Earlier, our recent and newly appointed Alderman of the 4th Ward, Will Burns, was here. And he made a commitment to attend every art event in his ward. And he started off this evening by attending tonight. So let's give a round of applause to our new Alderman, Will Burns. And I don't know if any of you are as proud personally as I am as the next person I'd like to introduce and acknowledge, and that is Miss Michelle Boone. Michelle Boone was the director at Gallery 37, the city's program that many of our children went through. She was also with the Joyce Foundation, but she was most recently appointed to Commissioner of the City of Chicago Department of Cultural Affairs.
So this must be all about who I know now. I'm happy to be here. Frances and Andre shared with me their trip to Dakar and the vision that they had about this exchange program and trying to bring not just the work but the experience and the artists from Senegal here to Chicago. And I immediately wanted to make sure that our new mayor knew about what was happening. One, as the mayor has expressed to me, he is definitely interested in trying to position Chicago as a global leader in can't do that without including the international community. Second, he's expressed to me his commitment to making sure that all of our neighborhoods across the city, and that includes south of Roosevelt Road, to have high-quality art experiences for our residents. And so when I went to him and said, you know, it would really be important if you could come, and if not come, at least share what you think about this night, he said absolutely. So I have a few words that I'd like to share with you direct from Mayor Rahm Emanuel. He asked that I give a warm welcome to our distinguished guests from Senegal and to let them all know how happy we are to have them here. As I hope you've seen, Chicago is truly an international city with a thriving arts and culture scene. Throughout the year, we plan to welcome artists from around the world and showcase their work in our galleries, museums, and neighborhood centers, all of which are located throughout the city, but perhaps more importantly, those that are located in our neighborhoods like Gallery Guichard. These international exhibitions present an invaluable opportunity to connect the people of Chicago with the rest of the world. They foster dialogue, strengthen understanding, and build bridges that improve the quality of life for everyone. I sincerely hope that all Chicagoans will take advantage of the opportunity to enjoy the artwork that's featured here tonight, and would like to offer a very special thank you to Andre and Francis and Stephen for all of your hard work in organizing this amazing exhibition. On behalf of the mayor, thank you very much. And one last plug, if you enjoyed what you saw with Mantu, their summer concert and gala is coming up July 16th, I think at the Harris Theater. So go on their website and support Mantu.
Michelle Boone.
All right, Michelle.
So, as Francis mentioned, we're bringing a piece of Africa to the south side of Chicago. Bronzeville is, as we know, the location where a lot of people from the south migrated to this community. But those same people from the south were the people who were the ancestors of our diaspora, African diaspora, where the slave trade brought a lot of people to this country from Africa. But if it wasn't for a gentleman who many of you may or may not know, that educated me, and I'm sure Francis and Steve, about the meaning of the African diaspora, we probably would not have made the niche art of the African diaspora, and this journey would not have meant as much had I not been reading and listening and learning from Daniel T. Parker, the author of Art of the African Diaspora and the educator to many of us about collecting. Daniel Parker has over 700 works in his collection, and as an activist, he didn't stop there and just say, I've purchased a lot of work from these artists over the last 30 years, that's enough. He used his own money and self-financed a book and featured those artists that is now all over the world. Dan was the first for me and for a lot of people to understand that we're all really from Africa. And when we left places like Senegal and we went through the door of no return, our families were split. Your mother might go to Brazil, your father might go to Jamaica, and you, as a child, might come to America. This gallery has been trying to bring focus on the culture of all these communities, and that thread really helps us to understand we're all one. So without further ado, we've got some great words from Mr. Daniel Texador Parker.
Thank you, Andre. As always, he was more generous than I deserve. But let's give him a hand. You know, I was looking at my two dancers, and I was looking at the art, and I see, how did it blend? Did it blend? Yeah. The dancers and art? Did it blend? And that is how our culture blends. Our culture. It's so important because I was speaking to Andre and Francis last night, situation. And it's up to all of us to take it out of that situation and to center stage where it belongs. We have people like Michelle who hopefully will help us if she gets all the support that she needs. The support is here. The support is here? Yes. Yes. Andre just wanted me to give you a little brief kind of history about our culture. Not only were we the first people, but all people came from Africa. Those blonde, blue-eyed people came from Africa. The straight-haired, yellow people came from Africa. All people came from the motherland. And so we say that Africa is the mother place of mankind, and it's our mother place. So anywhere other than Africa that we may happen to reside is called, what do you think? The diaspora. So we're standing in the diaspora. The United States of America is the diaspora. Andre mentioned Brazil is the diaspora. Anywhere that Africans reside other than the motherland of Africa is the diaspora. Now, let's talk about art. The first art that was made by our people. And Ticely, they discovered the first in Ticely, Northern Africa. Those stick figures, you know, the stick figures that the teachers make the little kids, well, all of that was the rudiments of African art. So the first art that was found in Africa. Fast forward a bit. The Europeans were engaged in a project trying to minimalize, find the least common denominator that would represent the head of the human, the arms of the human, the body, the legs. And so they went to Africa, and a man called Picasso saw an exhibition in France, and he was blown away. He said, wait a minute, I have been working for years and years and years trying to develop this concept, and here it is right in front of me, and it was from Africa. And so he found his way to Africa. And the European says he developed the Cubism form of art. Well, the Cubism form of art was already there. It was in Africa. And so, since he was the European master of art, Modigliani, Paul Klee, and many others followed him. And I'm going to bring out the book shortly to show you just how their art relates to African art, because the art that they founded their premise of art on. Take a closer look at it. Take a closer look, and you will find yourself in it. Be it abstract, be it figurative, be landscape, you will find yourself in it because it is you. And if we let our culture go down the drain, we are letting ourselves go down the drain. Our culture is just that important. For white master artists to go to our motherland and copy our art and bring it back to America, back to Europe, that should be telling you something. It's important. It's the soul of our people. It's the soul of our culture. And so, I just want to take one of the books. I bought 3 of them. Excuse me. I just want to show one example. I think I may talk loud enough you can hear me. But for example, this is a book of Diglianti. He's copied a statue from Central Africa, and he copied it in all of his work. And this book is by a European designer. Again, he's copied the art of our people. The mask. You see the mask? You see his art? Is there a difference? Is there a difference between his mask? Yes. Wow. Wow. It's right. So, Dan Park isn't just saying this. The world knows this, but guess who doesn't know it?
We don't.
We're here to educate. So, take a look at the art on this wall, on these walls. Find yourself. See yourself. Celebrate yourself.
Daniel Texador Parker. So, of course, our incredible guests who traveled all the way from Dakar are here, and I would like them to come forward and be acknowledged and understand that we're here to receive you and to thank you for traveling and to extending the bridge.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Andre and Francis Guichard, our host today. I would like, before all, introduce the members of my delegation coming a long way from Senegal to Chicago. Mr. Aziz Gay is the Chief Officer of the Tourism Bureau, Senegal Tourism Office in Atlanta, AZ. This beautiful lady is Maimouna Diallo from Senegal. She's the Chief Protocol of Minister of Tourism, Handicraft, Liaison with Private Sector and Small Businesses. Maimouna. Yes, it will be hard to say a few words after what I heard from Professor Daniel. It was really great. But on behalf of Minister Chernolo, Andre and Francis had the chance to meet him when they were in Dakar. On behalf of Minister Chernolo, I would like to say hello. Chernolo is the Minister of Tourism, Handicraft, Liaison with Private Sector and Small Businesses. And we are very pleased to be here in Chicago at Gallery Guichard to represent Senegal. Senegal is in West Africa, it's located in West Africa. And all that Professor Daniel said in this speech are values we are taught and we are grown up.
To the continent. It is more beautiful than Jamaica, more beautiful than Hawaii, and it is hot and hip as Miami and South Beach. I guarantee you, if you follow us, you'll enjoy the trip. So anyone interested, we do have a sign-in list where we will be giving information about joining us in December, and we will have a presentation so that you can learn more about the trip. So that's the fun stuff. We're gonna not let you have to live vicariously through us on the videos. We're gonna let you have your own experience. But tonight is special because one thing that I hope you get out of this is that we feel that it is so important that we share this experience, because when you stand on the door of no return and you look in those rooms where hundreds of us, our ancestors, died, millions died before we even left the island, and you understand how our families were literally split. So we had family all over this diaspora. And this artwork today, these artists are all the descendants of the artists who inspired the greatest masters of Western art. We are those people, and these artists you live with are those same people. So tonight, enjoy the exhibit, enjoy the camaraderie, and if you see something you love, please speak to myself, Francis, and James Gatewood, who's here with the camera in this fine suit here. His birthday is tomorrow, so if you buy him a painting, you will actually give him the biggest birthday gift he's ever had.
That's true. That's very true.
Thank you for coming out. As usual, I know you all could be a lot of places, but thank you for sharing our culture and connecting Africa to Bronzeville. Thank you again, Dr.